Hi, it's Mark Peters from Great Lakes Piano Service, and this is my shop update. Today is December 6, 2019, almost the end of the year. Cranking down on some projects here. I'm getting ready for a long winter. I've got 6 projects in the shop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 projects. But today's Friday, so the beer is coming out. Cabin Fever by New Holland Brewing. It's good stuff. Here's what I've been working on. This week my father and I were working on this project a little bit. This is the Yamaha smoke damage piano. We pretty much got it together. This is not regulated or the keys aren't leveled yet or anything, but we got the whole action back together. All new parts. Tokiwa parts, and Mike Curta did the key tops and cleaned the keys and put new bushings on. Did an excellent job, as always. So that's the Yamaha. Interesting project with all the soot and everything inside the piano, but I think it turned out pretty good. Looks really nice. The keys will look great once we get them all leveled. But they even look good now. So that's the Yamaha. And here's the Yamaha case. Doesn't that look amazing? I don't know if this was in the last shop update I did when it was still dirty. But here's an example of what it looked like because the other parts are not cleaned yet. You get to see my storeroom. This part's clean. Well, it's already dusty, but the other part is not clean. That's what the whole piano looked like. The inside looked like it and everything. So this will be the next project that gets done. Stringing is next, so probably next week or sometime before Christmas this will be strung, and then we'll get to enjoy it a little bit before it has to go back to its house. Beautiful, beautiful piano. It's a C5. This is a spec piano that I'm working on, so you can see it's collecting some dust because there's paying projects in here. This is a project for Interlaken, a Baldwin R. We had a crack in the soundboard here, 2 actually, a little one here and then one back here. So I bonded the wood together with some of this stuff here. Bondo wood filler. It really does a good job, and you don't have to deal with the shim. It's stronger than wood, and it's made of wood though. It's the wood. It's basically like sawdust in an epoxy resin. It's not done yet. This will be all smooth. It'll all be white, and then we'll be able to stain it to match, and then put some clear finish on top of it so that it all looks good. This is all hidden underneath the harp, but we still do want it to look nice. So that's work in progress, and then the whole case has to be finished yet. So this is, you can see it's been through the ringer. That's that piano. This piano's finished on the outside already. It just needs to be worked on. This is the Baldwin action here for Interlaken. Getting new hammers, obel hammers. No, these aren't obel hammers. These are Renner hammers with Renner shanks. So these are all loose yet. I was just dry fitting them to match. I ordered Baldwin R hammers to spec from and they custom board them and everything from Renner, but they're a little taller than the other ones. I can't quite believe that those were filed down that far. That's a good 1/4 to 1/4 to 5/16 of an inch. So, I don't know. hopefully there'll be enough room for you just have to have enough, the 1 3/4 between there and the string. So I'm in the process of putting new shanks on. Here's the new shanks all numbered, and the hammers that haven't been put on yet. And then these are the Yamaha dampers, other Yamaha parts here. Oh, hold on, we're forgetting the most important part. Here's the other project that's kind of in the works. This one had this is a barrel piano that I'm doing for the Music House Museum. It had a bigger crack in the soundboard, so I did go ahead and use a shim in it because there was open space between the crack. On the Baldwin, there's just a tiny little crack between the wood, so I opened that up and put wood putty in there, but this one seemed more intelligent to use a wooden shim. And so that's just temporarily in there, dry fit, until I get a chance to work on that. This is kind of on hold for right now while I get these other projects cranked out and get a little more space in the shop here. This is the harp that goes in there. It's an odd scale. It's not every single note. In fact, I think it's missing most of the G sharps. I don't think it has any G sharps in it. So a little strange, but these are all the parts for it. There's some severely cracked pieces here that need to be put back together. So what I did on the other one that was cracked, this one's fixed here pretty much. The bottom, still got to do a little work on that yet. But I just put a piece of wood on the back, tied it together, glued it together, and then used this piece of wood to draw the two pieces together. There and on the bottom, but the bottom looks like I may have to do some wood filling on that. So it's kind of a unique instrument. Well, it is a unique instrument. That's why it's at the museum. And this is a project for my predecessor, who sent me his piano. In exchange for services, I'm going to restore his piano for him. The bench on top, we got the piano underneath. It's supposed to be really beautiful mahogany underneath, red African mahogany, or South American, I can't remember exactly. But we'll strip it, and in the next, probably after the new year, probably in February or March, we'll start working on this one. And then replace strings, and then there's a few little action problems that need to be worked on. But that should also be a beautiful piano when it's done. And the sound is real good. So there's a few structural problems on the back. I don't know if you can see them from here. No, you can't see them from here, but in the back there's a part of the support members in the back bracing is cracked. Needs a little bit of work, so we'll have to see that. This is a Baldwin spinet that I'm working on for a client in Traverse City who wanted a white finish. So I'm not doing any mechanical work on this, it's just finish work. So it has been a struggle. It does not want to cooperate. The white finish likes to, when you're working on it like this, it's fine. The finish does not roll off a horizontal surface. But when you get it on a vertical surface like this, doesn't matter what you do to it, sand it beforehand, clean it well. The surface, it just likes to, I don't know if you can see it, but it just likes to bead down like this. So every time you put another layer on, you have to sand it down so you have a smooth finish to put it on, and then you're back to square one again. You're constantly building the finish, and at some point you stop and sand it down and then put a clear finish on the top. because you can't get rid of every time you do it, you get these bumps in the finish, and it's really frustrating. And it's not fisheye. I am using water-based lacquer. It's not fisheye, which is a situation caused when you have water, too much humidity in the air. Water prevents lacquer from drying flat. This is a situation from, and I'm not thinning the paint either, this is the thickness that it comes from the factory. This is just a situation of the paint likes to ball up like this on we can see here too on a sloping surface. It tends to want to run. It doesn't want to stay flat. But on these flat surfaces, it's perfect. There's no blemishes in there. That is a flat surface. There are no runs. See, these all are perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. All those surfaces turned out great. But you can't lay a piano on its side to finish it. So that's the predicament we're in. And I may have showed you this in the previous video, but that's the mechanism for the barrel piano. So that we're going to have to work on. There's a crack in the barrel, so yeah, we'll have to see. So that's what's been going on in the piano shop. This is the harp for the Baldwin. You can see I took shrink wrap tubing for electrical wires. This has got those goofy, I don't know, Baldwin, those hitch pins on the back with where you could vary the down pressure on the harp. They have a fancy name and I forget it all the time. But I'm trying to get this finished. This also, the finish is wanting to come off the sides. You know, I finished it in a vertical position and there must have been wax on there or something. It likes to bubble up and run off. So I've got a couple more coats to go on this and then we'll put the clear finish on it. Sand some of this stuff down and get rid of all these runs. But it's kind of a different color. My wife calls it baby throw-up color. But I like it. It's kind of a gold, a greenish gold, which is nice. In contrast to this color here, which is the Steinway gold, which is classic. But I don't like everything to look the same all the time. I like to have a little variation. So where I had a little freedom here, I tried a different color. So I'd really like to try on projects, maybe in the future, I'd like to try some different colored harps. Not like red or something like that, but maybe like a silver one or an antiqued, oh, this one over here is antique copper. But that one's never going to be seen. So it just needed to be coated. In its original state, it was almost bare metal. So just to get a coat of paint on it, it's a good thing. And so I'd like to try some different types of finishes, some hammered finishes, you know, finishes with some water in it. So when the spray dries, it bubbles up, you know, and kind of looks different. They have that. That's the hammered look, antique look that you can get in some of the Rust-Oleum products. It may look interesting on a harp, you know, on a piano that's maybe like an upright piano or something like that where you don't see the harp. You could try something different, you know, with a customer's permission, or if you're doing it on spec. I've got a couple upright grands in a storage garage because I don't have any room in here. And that might be a good idea to try out on those. So I'm running long-winded, but I hope you enjoyed the tour of the shop. And now that we got the extra pianos out of here, we'll be able to reclaim this space over here, which was filled with pianos. And that's kind of my harp painting booth there. You can see on the details on the wall there. So, but it's a shop to work in. That's why that's that way. So you all take care, If I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Take care. Bye.